is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. A newborn found dead in a gas station bathroom. The Prime Minister hitting at the media while addressing the Grand Bahama Port Authority dispute, saying it's never fruitful to have media in your business. And police investigating another murder. And again in Fox Hill. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's there. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, Nassau Cruiseport has something special for Mother's Day. We'll get the details about that. And then later in business, Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. Always a lot happening there. We'll find out about their Bold Beginnings Bootcamp and the Whole Women Forum. That's in our 9 o'clock hour, but right now it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a 24-year-old woman detained in police custody now at the hospital following the discovery of a newborn in a gas station bathroom. The baby boy was discovered dead in a bathroom of a service station in southwestern New Providence yesterday. Police say they were alerted around 9:30 a.m. of reports of the discovery. After the woman used the restroom, emergency medical technicians responded to the scene, examined the child, and determined that he was delivered when the mother was between 15 and 20 weeks pregnant. Police say the woman came into the hospital and is receiving medical attention. A day after man, police said, was a gang member from Fox Hill was shot dead on Fleming Street. Another man was found murdered in New Providence in the area of Dunkirk Road in Fox Hill. Chief Superintendent Kristen Skipping says it was too early to say if the two incidents were connected. Police notified around 8:30 a.m. yesterday that a man was found unresponsive on a dilapidated property on Dunkirk Road. Skipping's telling the media that the victim had multiple gunshot wounds to the body. It's suspected he was killed hours earlier. Skipping says initial reports indicate that gunshots were heard in the immediate area around 1 a.m. yesterday. This coming after police were notified about a shooting on Fleming Street before 7 a.m. on Monday. We told you about that yesterday. The victim in that shooting was a major player, we're told, in the Outlaws gang based in Fox Hill. Police say that that victim was a prolific offender who was also on bail for firearm possession. He's been identified now as Michael Fox Jr. Asked yesterday if police suspected the two killings were linked, Skipping said it was too early to say, but they're investigating. During her second day on the stand, Rashay Gibson, the cousin of Long Island MP Adrian Gibson, telling the Supreme Court that Adrian Gibson never asked her for a bribe, nor did she ever offer a bribe to him. She also said she did not discuss contracts issued by the Water and Sewerage Corporation with her, or he did not with her. Ms. Gibson, a former director at Elite Maintenance company that was awarded multiple contracts with the corporation, was responding to questions during cross-examination in the trial of Gibson and 4 others before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson yesterday. At the end of the first quarter of 2024, Bahamas Power and Light's indebtedness to the central government stood at $255.4 million, a revelation that's likely to raise key questions over why proceeds from the significant increases in BPL's fuel charge, announced in October 2022, appear to not have been used to reduce its debt. According to the Ministry of Finance's third quarter fiscal year 2023-2024 Public Debt Statistical Bulletin, dated May 2024, the BPL unsecured debt was $45 million at the end of fiscal year ended June 30th, 2020. It grew to $159.2 million by fiscal year ended June 30th, 2022. As shantytown demolitions began in North Eleuthera yesterday, Assistant Director of the Department of Social Services, Charlie Kelly, says the majority of residents in the unregulated communities are financially stable enough to find new accommodations for themselves. Kelly, in an interview yesterday, is saying that most of the people appear to be financially stable and that a few of them would likely claim they don't have money, but they found that a number of those people have found a place to move into. And Prime Minister Philip Davis in Grand Bahama on Monday saying it's, quote, never fruitful or constructive to have the media engaged in your business. This, as he answered questions put to him after a speech he gave to the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce in Freeport. After his speech, which focused primarily on the GBPA, the Port Authority, and what he termed its neglect of the city of Freeport, Davis was asked whether he thinks the media conversations between the Port Authority and the government are encouraging or discouraging investors who might be interested in investing in Grand Bahama. Davis saying, quote, if you look at how matters got in the press, it started elsewhere other than from the government. Once it was in the public domain, we responded, and I could take you through the timelines of what was said and when we were able to say anything. So I thought I'd respond to that in that way because it is never fruitful or constructive to have the media engaged in your business. You can read more about his comments in today's Nassau Guardian. Overseas, the U.S. pausing a shipment of bombs to Israel last week over concerns that Israel was approaching a decision on launching a full-scale assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah against the wishes of the U.S. That's according to a senior administration official speaking on Tuesday. The shipment was supposed to consist of several bombs, thousands of bombs, according to the official who spoke on condition of anonymity. More than 1 million civilians are sheltered in Rafah after evacuating other parts of Gaza amid Israel's war on Hamas, which came after the militant group's deadly attack on Israel on October 7th. In sports, next year's World Relay Championship set for China. But the question remains, will the event ever return to the Bahamas after that? Country once looked as a possible permanent hope for the World Relays is being lauded internationally for its first-class global event at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium over the weekend. The Bahamas hosted the first 3 editions of the World Relays in 2014, 15, and 17. And again in 2024, of course, the 4th time now. World Athletics President Lord Sebastian Coe saying the Bahamas is an ideal place for one of the signature events of World Athletics. It appears open to returning to these shores. As with anything of this magnitude, there is a bidding process that must be followed, and in this case, it would have to come before the World Athletics Council. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section. And the Bahamas women's sprint relay team knew they would be severely challenged to qualify for the Paris Olympics at the World Athletics Relays. A number of the country's top sprinters couldn't make it home for the event because of collegiate commitments. Still, a quartet of ladies went out and gave it all they had, but there's still a chance for the team to qualify. They're close. We've got the details on that in today's Guardian Sports section as well. From the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder rolling past the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 of the West semifinals, beating them 117-95 Tuesday night. And in the Eastern Conference semifinal, the Boston Celtics launching an onslaught of three-pointers, powering the Celtics to a 120-95 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure extending across the country. That's going to dominate the weather, maintaining mostly warm, very warm, and dry conditions across the islands today. Beachgoers should be alert for the slight risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposures. And due to the dry air mass, the threat for brush or bushfires remains elevated. For all areas today, we're looking at partly to mostly sunny and warm conditions. A bit breezy across the southeast Bahamas with a chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Mostly fair and warm expected tonight. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in or near showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest and central Bahamas. Easterly at 15 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwest and central islands, but 3 to 5 feet in the southeastern islands. Temperatures today getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. It may feel warmer than that, though. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales lot is full of new electric vehicles waiting for you to test drive. Stylish, powerful, full of the latest tech features. EVs are a great investment in your future, free from expensive gas and maintenance. Drop into Easy Car Sales on Gladstone Road or visit easy242.com to find your EV and dump the pump today. It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
BWF wishes all mothers a happy Mother's Day as we celebrate you. Mothers wear many hats. For these hats, we say thank you for your unconditional love, commitment, sacrifices, and dedication. Happy your mother with love this Mother's Day with a gift from BWF during our 2 weeks of Mother's Day savings. Up to 40% off Monday, April 29th through Saturday, May 11th. Savings include appliances, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, houseware supplies, bath towel gift sets, quilts, comforters and sheet sets, curtains, floral decor, and much, much more. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook. We ship to the Family Islands.
Here in the Bahamas, we love our food. From savory comforters to refreshing coconut water, our cuisine reflects our vibrant culture and abundant natural resources. But as our population grows and global challenges like climate change loom, ensuring food security is more critical than ever. We at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources want you to play your part by supporting local farmers and fishers. Together, we can reduce our carbon footprint and promote economic resilience within our communities. Let's honor our traditions, protect our environment, and ensure that the flavors of our Bahamas endure for future generations.
Bahamas, let's work together to lower our food import bill. Food security is in our hands.
Food security is in our hands.
Here's to the go-getters, the early risers, and the late-night dreamers. You, the visionaries, painting futures in your mind, in your studio, your office, your sacred space. Here's to the adventurers, explorers of every realm. To you, the innovators, turning the cogs of progress. In a world where connection is a lifeline, a pathway to possibilities. Alive is the perfect connection for everyone, every lifestyle. Every day.
Visit BeAlive.com today.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Host of Morning Blend. Thank you again.
Temporary.
Thank you again for filling in.
No problem. My pleasure.
Hope you had a good time.
It was fun.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, you'll get to do it again soon. All right, so we got a lot to get to this morning. Coming up, Nassau Cruise Port has got something special in store for Mother's Day. It's called Sip and Shop. We'll get the details about that. And later in Business Access Accelerator, Small Business Development Center, they got a couple of things going on. The Bold Beginnings Bootcamp.
Triple B.
You're involved in that one too?
Triple B. I haven't been called on that one yet.
Oh, boy. And then the Whole Women's Forum. We'll get details about all of those coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. Whole.
WHOLE?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Just asking. I was just asking. I haven't heard of it.
Right? Yes, not the other one, and not half either. Whole. So we'll ask about that when they get here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I had. But right now, let's talk about what else is in the news. Okay, there we go. In the news, quite a few things we want to quickly hit at. So the Bahamas recognizes Palestine as a state. The country has decided to formally recognize Palestine as a state. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is making that announcement yesterday. There were some concerns that many other CARICOM countries had done it already, and people were wondering what
took so long.
What took the Bahamas so long? But hey, okay. So in the past, we're told the Bahamas has endorsed a two-state solution, as clearly articulated in the United Nations Security Council Resolution 242, 1967, on a peaceful and accepted settlement of the Middle East situation. But the Bahamas became the final CARICOM country to recognize the state of Palestine. Last October, CARICOM condemned the attacks in Israel by Hamas and the counterattacks in the Palestinian territory of Gaza. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs noted as well that the savage nature, or CARICOM did, the savage nature of the attacks and counterattacks was the antithesis of civilized life and living, and joined the responsible members of the international community in calling for an immediate ceasefire and end of hostilities by all parties. Well, everybody's holding their breath and crossing their fingers that will happen soon. All right, so that's that. Of course, everybody's heard about this, I'm sure. The newborn baby found dead in a service station gas bathroom. Just a terrible situation. And now police are holding a 24-year-old woman. Well, she's in the hospital in custody. In connection with this, police say the woman came to the hospital and was receiving medical attention. So EMTs determined that the child was dead and was delivered when the mother was between 15 and 20 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
So, oh boy. So we'll see what comes out of that. Just a sad situation there. Okay, so we want to talk about this headline in the Nassau Guardian today. Never fruitful to have media in your business. That's from Prime Minister Philip Davis. This is coming after the meeting, or the address that he gave to the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce about the dispute the government's having with the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Well, it happened at the same event.
Happened at the same event, but when he was answering the submitted questions that they chose, the government chose to answer, because apparently they got many questions, but only chose to answer 4 or 5. So our Candy Dame's writing about it. So Prime Minister Philip Davis said in Grand Bahama Monday night that it was never fruitful or constructive to have the media engaged in your business, as he answered questions put to him after a speech he gave to the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce in Freeport. After the speech, which focused primarily on the Port Authority and what the Prime Minister termed the neglect of the city of Freeport, Davis was asked whether he thinks the media conversations between the GBPA and the government are encouraging or discouraging investors who might be interested in investing in Grand Bahama. So this language is a little winding roadish, so brace yourselves. Okay, Davis said, quote, "It is never my intent to engage in any issue in the media. If you look at how matters got in the press, it started elsewhere other than from the government. Once it was in the public domain, we responded, and I could take you through the timelines of what was said and when we were able to say anything. So I thought I'd respond to that in that way because it is never fruitful or constructive to have the media engaged in your business." Now, having said that, in respect to investor confidence, I've not seen, as I said in my remarks earlier, I've seen no remonstration from investors. We've been engaged with several persons of interest in doing things in the Grand Bahama area, in the Port area and West End and as well, and there's nothing that is shaking their confidence. As I said, investors will have no concern or fear if they recognize that all this is enforcing contractual terms. We have an agreement. We say under the agreement we are owed. The other side said, well, we don't owe. Well, that's a genuine disagreement, and there's a move to have it resolved in the manner in which the document, the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, said it should be resolved. Any investor who is concerned about that fact is not the kind of investor we want in the Bahamas in the first place. Okay. So, just a little background. In early April, the Tribune first reported the Davis administration's demand that the Port Authority reimburse the government $357 million for services provided. After that story broke, the Prime Minister spoke at the PLP at a PLP gathering in Freeport, saying the Grand Bahama Port Authority was given 30 days to repay that $357 million, or it could immediately face arbitration proceedings. Davis said the government has a strong case, but warned the road ahead will likely get bumpy as his administration seeks to collect from the port. The Prime Minister said in the address that, quote, when profits are threatened, when bills come due, things tend to get noisy, but this is the right thing to do. It is intolerable to ask the Bahamian people to continue subsidizing private profits. All right, so, yeah, and then this is pretty much back to where we were yesterday. So, okay, I don't know. I don't know if he's necessarily hitting at the media. I think he might be just saying, don't take the dirty laundry out in the street when you could deal with these things in the backyard with the people who made it dirty. Just don't make it public before it's necessary. That's what he's saying. I don't know. So you think it's an actual media attack?
Well, it didn't have to say it how he said it. Didn't have to say it at all. And then it's now part of a string of things about the media that started in, January or February? With not reporting things on the front, murder on the front page. And then the comments about the Freedom of Information Act. Which isn't necessarily
weren't from him.
Right, but I'm just saying the administration.
People in the, right, yes. Okay.
It just seems to be this common theme of, mind your business and we can tell y'all what's up with the country when we want to in our own time. And if you allow governments to do that, because they will, they'll never tell you anything.
Right. And of course, whether we could agree or disagree as to whether this is a hit on the media, but we can agree that it's not correct to say it's never fruitful.
Yeah.
Right? It definitely is fruitful. We have many examples, almost weekly, that it is fruitful. Yeah. That when you come to the media or when the media exposes something, the public gets on board and says, yeah, this is crazy, what are you doing? I think we saw that just a couple of weeks ago with the BPL, the electricity bill, right? Yeah. And what the media interpreted and many others interpreted the language in the legislation to say. If it weren't for the outcry, I suspect that would have been swept under the rug. Yeah. But they've come back and now had to align the language so that it actually makes sense and that IRCA's powers are restored.
Yeah. Well, again, the language, whose business? Who's your business?
Wow.
Whose business does it belong to?
Right.
This whole idea that we elect governments to take care of our best interests, right? And then we have no idea what those interests are. Because unless something leaks in some cases, or we go and beg and plead for an interview on something, we might not get the information. And I think this port business, the people's business, especially for the people of Freeport, is very important.
Absolutely. And some very important conversations are, again, at the table as a result of this being exposed. Right? Because we really do need to figure out the way forward for the city of Freeport, for the island of Grand Bahama, and for every town or city in this country.
Well, the thing about it is there are probably lots of people, especially people in Graham who live in Freeport, who had no idea, maybe, that this $300 million is probably worlds more than that if you go back even further. But that was even a thing.
Right, that there was a clause that this was supposed to happen. Yeah.
And you could agree with the Prime Minister when he says that why would the taxpayers subsidize a private business? Right? That makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
So, again, these are things that are supposed to stir up national conversation about where the country's headed and how good of a job different people are doing, how good the GBPA is doing, Grand Bahama Port Authority, how good the government is doing. So, again.
And that's a good point, because that shows you that it is fruitful, because many people agree with the Prime Minister.
Right, yeah.
So to say that, again, what's really happening
in the context of answering the question, it wasn't actually a necessary statement to make.
It was not.
No.
Let's get your opinion on it, folks. What do you think? Was it a hit of the media? Do you think it's never fruitful to have the media in your business?
Whose business?
Right.
Whose business?
Yeah, maybe if it is two private companies going at it. Perhaps. With no shareholders.
Of course, if it's two private companies going at it.
No shareholders, no public. Nobody needs to know. But if it's anything to do with the government, anything to do with the management of our lives, it's our business.
Sure, the GBPA is a private company, but, well, it has shareholders, like you said. And it has the carriage of the lives of Bahamians in their hands.
Yeah. If it were, as they might have wished, it to be a walled city where you only certain people are allowed in, well, then, maybe it's not our business. But it's not like that.
No, it's not.
It's the second largest city, I think it still is, in the Bahamas.
Yeah. And there are very important things that go on there.
Absolutely. And Bahamian citizens are living there.
Yeah. So
it is our business. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
And good morning to your co-host.
Good morning.
This whole episode reference to Prime Minister Grand Bahama media has brought us a new kind of interest to what it means to have freedom of information, because I believe that there are many other such unenforced aspects to numerous partnerships that the government have around the country.
Wow.
That are similar, where the failure to enforce or the lack of interest to enforce constantly brings the burden of expenses back to the taxpayers. I think I would definitely give the Prime Minister credit for his courage to address a long-standing issue with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, where it's been very obvious for years that the partnership, if we can call it that, has significant inequity in terms of how it exists and how it behaves. And so I don't think you'll find a whole lot of right-thinking Bahamians that would disagree with him. But my only concern is how many other partnerships around this country that we don't know about due to the lack of transparency in a lot of these heads of agreement that is probably reflecting the same inequity in terms of how it's enforced and what is supposed to be due to the Bahamian people. So maybe the time has come to allow an independent group of people to really look at all of these heads of agreement and see what is owed to us. Maybe that might be wishful thinking, but I do believe that there are other similar fallouts in terms of what we're supposed to be getting.
Okay.
And I would close by saying this, Dwight, that you can't expect the media to, only look at things when it's comfortable and favorable to your agenda. And when it's not comfortable and favorable to your agenda, then the media becomes a pariah. I think that's not a fair approach.
Well, I think 75% of the country disagrees with that, but you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Thank you so much. Haven't heard from you in a while. Good to hear you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said.
You too, guys. Goodbye.
All right. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Good
Hi. Good morning.
It's amazing. Hey, when the Prime Minister was on the other side, he was very much appreciative of the media, right? I mean, he used whatever the media spewed out to his advantage, to their advantage. But now that they're in government, it's a different thing. It's amazing that he hired most of the personnel out of the media to be on his team. So what is he saying now? What is he saying? Another thing. When the national station aired his speech, all of the persons that were interviewed talked great about him, how it was necessary for that speech to be made and so on and so forth. So wasn't the media in his favor, in his business then? And, I listened to that, and one of the representatives from the port was right in the meeting, but they didn't interview anybody from the port to get their view on what the Prime Minister's speech was, So, I mean, I think he is being very, very, I don't know if I can find a word right now, but disingenuous to the media. They use the media when they want to, and they abuse them when they want to at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, thank you very much. Has the port issued a statement yet?
I haven't seen a statement.
Nothing yet. Maybe they might feel there's nothing to respond to.
Or maybe it's none of our business.
Oh, boy. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Your co-host did a very good job in your absence.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful.
So continue to use him. I mean, when you can mix it up, warn us.
Use is the opportune word.
Yeah, but Dwight, my heart really goes out to that young lady, because if the father of that child every day was checking for her and anxiously wanted to see this baby born, she would have had some purpose. But boy, I don't know. We can only speculate. But to be alone is a tragedy in this life. But when you have a prime minister who's saying never, never food for law constructive, I think something to this effect, having the media involved in your business. Well, okay, in your personal business, your private business, I could agree. It's not supposed to be in the media. But it is disrespectful to withhold information that is the people's business. Could he see it that way? He's a legal mind. He is disrespecting us by withholding the information from us. That's what the Freedom of Information Act is supposed to provide. So he's being disrespectful. I hope he could see that other side of the coin that he's looking at. And he could use the media, if he's smart enough, be the first person to leak it to the media if you have nothing to hide. Because you have something to hide, it gets leaked. That's what he's dealing with. All right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I think the question led him in the wrong direction, I suspect. Right? And say the media conversation being public, right? That in the public. And then that opened the door for an easy attack. As you say, this is a long line of a trend basically with them. Yeah. And so but they meant to have the public discussion. And here we go, another attack on the media. The Potcake song is what applies to us, right? You only know us when you need us, right? Yeah. But yeah, public is what they meant. But another opportunity to take a jab. Oh well. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Hi.
Two things here. Firstly, Dwight, congratulations for having Chester host the show last week. I believe that you have indeed opened a new paradigm, whereas you are allowing the other voices to host a very premium show, given the opportunity for our listeners to get that that contrasts
What's happening?
and get the other viewpoints of other persons.
Is this the first time you heard it, Jeff?
No, not at all. I
hosted?
mean, I am always glued to the radio once I hear Chester on. He does an excellent job, Chester.
I appreciate you.
It's been years.
I gotta give that to you. I echo the sentiments of John and all the other callers. I'm pretty sure they will echo similar sentiments. But hey, he did a fantastic job. Congratulations. Fair and balance is always the way to go. My thing is two things here. I mentioned this one last week. You know, to have something like this run for so long and for so much, when the government itself, and I'm not talking about this one in particular at all, I'm talking about successive governments, have allowed this situation to run off the rails. It's a sin and a shame what our government does. I mean, you know, if this one entity owes all of this money, and it's not a 5-year thing, it appears to be like 15 years. So what does that say about our government in their duties in collecting fees at a time when they're supposed to collect it? Are they going to wait 15, 20 years to try and collect something, then come back and try bash the company that owes them? So it means there's a dereliction of duty on both sides, not just one. The second part here is that as far as the GBPA is concerned, I mean, I'm hearing different things on the ground in terms of even the licensees now. They're talking. I mean, where is their commentary to this whole thing? I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know, because this fiasco is going to be very, very interesting. And my last point here.
Before we go on. So, what do you mean by that? Because you are hearing them. They do speak. You want something formal? I mean,
I mean something. I want to hear something from them after the speech was made.
In what
because
form?
There were so many
they
things
were
that
on
were said.
all day on the radio yesterday. We were hearing from people from Grand Bahama, people who are licensees. They were talking. You want something. Like a press conference?
From the Port Authority on this matter.
The Port Authority. Okay.
My last point here, the speechwriter for the Prime Minister. And, you know, we are very leery of this thing. We talked about the Freedom of Information Act, but a lot of persons scoff at it. They don't take this thing serious, apparently. But let me say this. You know, every time the Prime Minister makes a speech, and it's not just this one, the last one in particular, you know, he also made gaffes. Whoever is writing these speeches and the Prime Minister then comes and make these pronouncements, then have to step back from what they said to try and clarify points, then either one or two things is wrong. Either one, the Prime Minister needs to up his ante by really ensuring that the words that come out of his mouth that carries the most weight for the government is severely accurate. Or two, the speech writer that writes his speeches, they need to fire him. Or her, because I mean every time I make a catastrophe, I'm trying to give a balance here because we don't know whether the Prime Minister himself wrote the speech or wrote the speeches, or whether it's someone writing the speeches for him. All I know is I see in the Prime Ministers them have to walk back or backtrack on some of these critical matters that has already gripped the nation. I mean, and has to come back and backtrack on them. I mean, we have a country that we're talking about. We're trying to move progressively forward.
Okay, are you suggesting something like that happened on Monday?
I'm suggesting, according to what is happening. I mean, let's say, for instance, now this supposed attack on the media. You know, is it really an attack on the media? Or is it something to do specifically with this particular matter?
Well, that has nothing to do with the speech. Right? That's right. That's a question the Prime Minister was asked, a leading question, and he answered in that way. So that's nothing to do with the speechwriter at all. But as far as we know, there's nothing that was not something incorrect said on Monday. I don't know why you're suggesting that, but you just didn't like what the Prime Minister said when he was asked a question. That's something totally different.
Well, Dwight, like I said, all of this just brings back a whole other stuff that when the speech is given or when a discussion is being had and something is being said, you know, sometimes it is just the perception of the stuff. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not, at this particular juncture, I would say there's one or two things that concern me. The verbiage was not, I think, could have been a lot tighter, maybe could have been a lot clearer. But to me, there were just some little nuggets that just wasn't clear to me, and I would really like to hear some clarity on some of this stuff, you know?
Really? Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I thought, again, I'm going to say it, I think that was one of the best speeches he ever gave. Whether you agree with the content or not, the delivery was wonderful, and he was really taking some serious jabs, but in the calmest way ever. It was brilliant. But, okay. I think it was pretty clear. Very clear. Again, this question was a weird question. And based on what Laverne Gardner was telling us yesterday, there were a couple of those weird type questions there.
I found the questions that I heard all sounded very similar.
Similarly weird?
And similar.
Well, maybe some writer there decided to tweak them. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? No. Okay, let's read these messages before we go to the break. And I guess, Mr. Producer, we can do pot cake since that's how the media is being treated today as we go to the break. These text messages. This person says here, oh boy. Okay, here's the text. It wasn't a baby. It was a 20-week fetus. If abortion was legalized and destigmatized, maybe this wouldn't have happened, though. We don't know what exactly happened. By that, I mean, when you say baby, it sounds like a viable pregnancy, which we don't know. Okay. Well, and this person says here, Davis ain't got no respect for y'all. What did you expect? Y'all are easily bought. Just look and see who was rewarded for attacking the previous administration daily.
Touche.
This person says, yawn. The egos of the media are swollen more than these politicians. We need a stronger fourth estate, not a petty one who believe they are above criticism while rehearsing for a soft public relations gig with the government. Oh, my God. See, this is why that question was asked, because the public, seems to despise the media. And that's why that word was there instead of public conversations, right? This was in the public. And the media is just reporting what was in the public.
Yeah.
But they want to blame everything on the media. But that's because the people don't like the media. Well, anyway, okay. Good morning, all. Does the Prime Minister understand that his statements are digitally stored, or does he think we're just stupid? Well, if you're in the media, he thinks you're stupid, apparently. Great show as usual. Of course, it was a hit at the media. Stevie Wonder could see that. Y'all need to stop doing things like that, though, and I need to stop reading them. Okay, everyone could see. Yeah, sure. Nothing good comes out of having a defense lawyer as a prime minister. Wow, just as in national security. What does that mean? They like keeping secrets, and I got to stop. Oh, boy. They like keeping secrets as if it's a guilty client they're protecting. Secrets and hiding information is the breeding ground for crime and corruption.
Okay.
I think the people don't like anybody, it seems. Now, listen to this one. Oh, boy. President Mugabe would have fixed the port dilemma very quickly.
Oh, boy.
Thanks for that.
Oh, boy.
Thank you very much. What was their dollar? Remember the time when the dollar was like, I think, $1 million? Like a million to what or something?
Duterte would have fixed crime, too.
Yeah, what do you want? Why would you send a text like that? What are you suggesting? Do you want a Mugabe type leader? Is that what you're saying, texter? What's your point? What's your next text going to be? Oh, Hitler wouldn't have said it like that. Is that what you're going to do? Right? What's your point? Anyway, Dwight, the callers are really trying to say that Chester lets them be more free to express themselves.
What?
Okay. Well, thank you, Chester. Thank you. Media's collaboration with social media will hold them accountable. Thank God for the media. It is my business. It is my business, dear Prime Minister. I was watching the live stream as a born-bred stakeholder, Grand Bahamian, until it was cut short. I ask everyone, what was the takeaway from that speech? What was solved? Okay. Another person says here, if the port says they owe the government nothing, then someone had to be collecting that money. It's a lot to think about. No, it doesn't mean that necessarily. They just don't agree that
somebody was collecting the money.
Can you imagine?
We pay you.
Right now, they never said that.
We send a
they
check.
didn't say we haven't been paying you. They dispute whether they owe them anything because in the past, no one ever tried to collect this.
Right.
And now the government says, well, we aren't collecting this, which we're supposed to, and yet y'all are doing all this stuff, and the city still looks like this. Yeah. So,
They said, we're not those other guys.
Or ourselves. We's new now.
Yeah.
We different.
Yeah.
We change. Yeah. Okay. Even though we look the same. Why are you behaving odd by words?
Huh?
We've gotten words for 50 years. Nobody could deliver words better than Pindling. People in Pinewood still are underwater. Wait. Okay. People in Baintown still have outdoor toilets. What's happening? Oil was leaking in the ocean in Abaco for a solid month. The oil spill in Andros got cleaned up yet? Is power on today in Andros? Yesterday? Today? Tomorrow? Okay. Wow. Anyway, what's so funny is that they will call an election and throw a big party and they'll be bought again. Who will? Who will be bought again?
I don't know.
Don't mind the naysayers. Keep the politicians' feet to the fire. Okay, thank you. The caller said the Prime Minister's speech was not clear and something about the verbiage. Does the caller speak English or understand the language? I suggest he go back to school. Oh, boy. Being mean in the morning so early. Dwight and Chester, what's going on with BPL and that $250 million debt to the government? Isn't BPL owned by the government? This is confusing. Well, who knows what it is, right? It could be a lot of things. Right? Everybody has to pay customs and everybody has to pay things.
Meant to be. It's supposed to be like quasi, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take this one final call and then we're going to go to the break. Yep. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Pleasant good day, gentlemen. So you do.
Hi. Good morning.
All right.
I'd like to send my condolences out to the young lady and a baby. And towards the situation with the government, I'd like to ask a question that I guess a previous texter just asked. Like, do government entities pay bills to government entities? And secondly, I hope the country asking, who does the government body work for? Do the Prime Minister work for themselves, or do they work for the people? Because at the end of the day, the media is reporting the news to the people because they're not giving us information. And it's sad because at the end of the day, I was like you coming to work and you telling your boss, hey, I ain't coming in today, but I ain't none of your business. I let you know what you need to know.
Absolutely.
So I think the BM people are just too laid back, especially with the government body, that they get away with too much sins. So they do it for so long that not everybody feel like it's normal.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, enjoy your day.
Yep.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Great questions there. Yeah, thank you very much. It depends on the day and the month, all right? Whether I work for you or work for myself, it seems. Yeah. People seem to be the majority. There are a few who are constantly looking at everything critically. Very few, it seems. But once your team is in power, you're like, whatever they do is perfect.
Yep.
And once they're out, everything those other guys do is a disaster. And it keeps going back like that. 5 years of you complaining and 5 years of you thinking this is the best thing ever.
People ain't got no shame.
It's very sad and very scary. And this explains a lot of why we are where we are. Okay, we got to go to a break and go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us, folks.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that this It started off the end of the old way.
RBC. Are you buying a home, renovating, or exploring mortgage options? With cash back and up to 90% financing, we'll find the perfect mortgage for you. Pre-qualify in just 60 seconds and get connected with a mortgage specialist today. Visit rbc.com/mortgages/all of you. RBC. Conditions apply.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas. This year, we plan on shattering that record. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16-island destination.
No matter who you are or what you do, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is our home.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:26, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's happening. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure extending across the Bahamas. That's going to continue to dominate the weather across the country, and that's going to maintain mostly dry and warm conditions. Beachgoers should be alert, though, for the risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposures, and as a result of the dry air mass, the threat for brush or bush fires remains elevated. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly to mostly sunny and very warm conditions, a bit breezy across the southeast Bahamas, with a chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Mostly fair and warm tonight. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in or near showers and thunderstorms for boaters. Temperatures today getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. It may feel warmer than that, though. And overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that broad Atlantic ridge of high pressure stretching across the country will maintain gentle to moderate east to southeasterly breezes and a warming trend across the islands as it shifts east through the remainder of the week. So for Thursday, tomorrow, that's going to mean partly to mostly sunny conditions, seasonably warm, and the chance of a few isolated showers during the day, mainly fair and warm at night. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, warm with the chance of a few brief passing showers during the day, fair and warm at night. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all of your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. .28 time for another check of your traffic brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee auto loan with up to 100% financing. Here's what's happening in your real-time traffic. We've got West Bay Street. You're seeing some slow-moving traffic just east of Arawak-Key if you're heading eastbound into downtown. So near Nassau Street, you'll be seeing that slow-moving traffic there. And further west, you've got near Saunders Beach, same thing, eastbound slow-moving traffic as you approach the roundabout with New Providence Highway. Six-legged roundabout also busy for you, especially eastbound on JFK Drive, southbound New Providence Highway, northbound on Milo Butler Highway as well. Then we've got Milo Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic northbound for you from well south of Bellot Road, straight through the roundabout with Fire Trail and up to the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway roundabout. Backed up a bit along Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway eastbound as well. And Gladstone Road also busy from just north of Fire Trail straight up to the roundabout with Gladstone Road, well, roundabout with JFK Drive and Bahamar Boulevard. As we head east, we've got Eastern Road, of course, heavy traffic from just east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road if you're heading westbound. Prince Charles Drive, a number of hot spots there, especially approaching Beatrice Avenue and Soldier, that whole stretch looking very congested for you westbound. Through to Old Trail. Marathon Road, northbound, slow-moving traffic. And East Street, just north and south of Soldier Road, you're going to be seeing that congestion if you're heading northbound. Blue Hill Road, very busy for you near Gladstone, near Carmichael Road and north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive. Independence Drive backed up westbound this morning as well. That's what we're looking at in your real-time traffic, and that is your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/carloan/all of you for more information.
Technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
What Boss Man was saying in the back there just now.
About what? The luncheon?
Why you always worried about food? No, about how we gotta pay a little more for national insurance.
Mildred, you talking food. I can't afford to pay that.
And you're always crying, palm out. Ain't gonna be much. Boss still gotta pay. 1st of July, 2024.
I think that annual benefit is what did help my boy Tony through the pandemic. That same unemployment benefit. And guess what?
What?
Susan, I think she'd get a pregnancy benefit, eh?
You mean maternity benefit, eh? So now, we gotta do our part to make sure we get our pension. All right.
For more information, visit niprateIncrease.com. Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Experience the immediate care you deserve at Doctors Hospital Urgent Care. When emergency strikes, trust our expert physicians for fast, quality care. With extended hours and cutting-edge medical technology, we're always ready to serve you. Don't wait or take risks with your health. Visit our urgent care suite at Doctors Hospital West on Blake Road for immediate, trusted, and best care.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
World Hand Hygiene Day is celebrated each year on May 5th and focuses on the importance of hand hygiene in healthcare. Washing your hands properly is the most effective way to prevent the spread of germs that cause diseases. Healthcare workers, be sure to have hand hygiene supplies available at every point of care and clean your hands before and after care. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Hand hygiene is not just for healthcare workers, it's for everyone. Make having clean hands save lives. Clean your hands. This message brought to you by the Infection Prevention and Control Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Mothers are the heart of our homes, the soul of our memories, and the guiding light through life's journeys. Show your love with a gift from Kelly's House and Home's Mother's Day sale, Friday, May 3rd through Saturday, May 11th. Enjoy 20% off selected dinnerware, glassware, luggage, silk flowers, and picture frames, except on net items. One lucky person can win a gift basket for Mother's Day. Visit our Facebook page for more information. Kelly's House and Home's Mother's Day sale, May 3rd through 11th. Happy Mother's Day, all with love from Kelly's House and Home.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas. This year, we plan on shattering that record. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16-island destination.
No matter who you are or what you do, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is our home.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Attention all new Providence customers. Are you ready to spring into savings and make this Mother's Day unforgettable? From April 26th to May 9th, pay your water and sewage bill in full and get a chance to win big. That's right, simply pay your bill and you'll be automatically entered to win a stunning 55-inch smart TV. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to treat yourself or that special mom in your life. Visit any of our water and sewage offices to learn more. Spring into savings and make this Mother's Day one to remember. Water and sewage committed to growth, committed to quality. Hurry, offer ends soon. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you a business owner or HR professional? RF's team of pension specialists are here to empower your employees with market-leading retirement solutions and to make implementing group pensions easy and cost-effective. With RF, starting or switching your company pension plan is a breeze, and there are no setup fees. If you're looking for strong investment performance and low fees, visit rfgroup.com/empower and empower your team to retire comfortably with RF Group pensions today. That's rfgroup.com/empower.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
They call me pot cake, I'm in a poor state, yet I stay on guard, I protect their yard, they hardly feed me, sometimes I'm so thirsty, they say I ain't got no pedigree, they don't love me, they only know me, when they need me, they don't love me, they only know me, when they need me. They tie me out in the burning sun. If I'm lucky, I break away and run. You should see them. Oh, how they grin as I look for food, tipping over garbage bins. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Chester Robards. Okay, so that we were going to play that song for the discussion about the media. Don't talk in the media because they only know us when they need us. But we're moving on to our next segment, so that song does not apply. We would never call mom, refer to mom in that way. Although I'm sure many moms feel that way,
yeah, they only
right?
know.
Oh boy. Anyway, Mother's Day is fast approaching, folks. Sunday already. Wow. Where did the time go?
The week or?
How is it Mother's Day already?
How is it? Oh.
Yeah, right. But anyway, it's here. And if you want to find something amazing to do, head down to the Nassau Cruise Port.
Wait, do for your mother or with your mother? Or if you're a mother?
Both.
Both.
Both, right? So we're very pleased to have with us from the Nassau Cruise Port. They've got something very exciting happening. We've got Marketing and Communications Manager, Sean Gomez. Welcome back, Sean. Great to have you with us.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so this is new, right? Sip and Shop.
Well, actually, we've been doing Sip and Shop for a while. It's a monthly event that we have at the port. And every month, we basically change the theme to suit what's happening that month. So the first one that we ever did was a Valentine's Day one. So it was a month of love type of situation. Now we're hopping on over to to Mother's Day. And it's going to be very exciting.
All right, so tell us about the concept. How does it work exactly?
So the idea is that at Nassau Cruise Port, we're all about authentically Bahamian items, products, everything. We're authentically Bahamian, and that's something that we love to push. And so we want to make sure that locals especially know that they have an avenue to come and get some amazing Bahamian products. and that, it's open and available to Nassau, to locals. And so Nassau Cruise Port just wants to promote that. So what we do with Sip and Shop is we give complimentary drinks to people who come and attend the event, who go into the stores, especially our 6 major retail stores. So we have Bahari, we have House of Assembly, we have Vita Koya, we have Bahama Handprints, we have Grey Cliff. And they're Bahamian products. So, Grey Cliff does the chocolate and the wines. And then you have House of Assembly that does handbags. Then you have Bahari that has a full slate of almost everything. Then you have Vita Koya that does swimsuits. And then My Ocean as well, that does candles, soaps, and jewelry. And then Bahama Handprints, which has that Bahamian fabric that you also can purchase along with other like leisure wear and stuff like that. So it's a lot. And we want to make sure that not only the passengers can really benefit from having an authentically Bahamian product, but Bahamians as well. And these aren't just like the regular souvenirs. Like someone told me, like, I tired of straw hat and straw bags. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But, people like Bahari and House of Assembly and basically all of our 6 retailers, brand retailers, they sell everyday items that you could use and wear every day. So it's not just about that souvenir look, that island look. You can actually get things that you could wear all of the time.
Excellent. All right, so we'll get back to the shopping in a bit, but tell us about the sipping. Tell us more about that.
So our drinks specials, they change every time. So we have 2 wonderful bars at Nassau Cruise Port, the Island Post, and then the Gallery and Wine Bar. And so we bring them down to our Port Plaza area where the 6 major retailers are, and we give complimentary drinks. So we had margarita mix at one point in time. You have wine, you have beers. This time for Mother's Day, we're doing it a bit brunch. We want to have a little brunch vibe. So we're starting at 11 a.m. and we're going until 2 p.m. And with that, you get a free mimosa.
Oh,
so
yeah,
so either a mimosa or like a hard lemonade or something like that gives brunch vibes. And
so
then
who gets that? Just the moms or everybody who comes?
Anybody who joins us, of course, if you're 18 years and older.
Right.
So if you bring your kids, we'll also have some juice or something available. But this time around, we also have Preacher's Kid involved. We're very happy to have Chef Simeon Hall at Nassau Cruise Port, and it's super exciting. He has an amazing twist on Bahamian items and making them soul food. I always tell people it's a menu that you have to taste. And so now he's going to do a brunch menu that people can also purchase from to tie into the theme for Sip and Shop. So it's going to be exciting, and we're looking at also doing a fashion show possibly with our 6 major retailers during that day. So it's going to be exciting. It's hosted by Ayanthea Smith, and we have DJ Melody bringing the vibe. So it's always fun. If you go on our social media pages on Instagram and stuff like that, you could see video recaps of it. And every single time it turns into a daytime party. We don't know how. Our major goal is to get everyone to shop, and in between shopping, it turns into a party. So it's a big vibe. It's a lot of fun. And one thing about Nassau Cruise Port that I love is it's always a fun and safe environment. And so we always encourage people to come down on your Saturday, on your Sunday, check it out.
All right, so
it's a really cool idea.
Yeah,
it's dangerous for you as a child who's bringing your mom out there, because you better clear your credit card. It's a novel idea in that you shouldn't buy your mom a gift.
Should clear the credit card. That's what you
got that right. We
got a lot of children with credit cards around here now.
Listen, Dwight.
I don't know. I'm out of it.
You shouldn't buy your mom a gift. Bring your mom down to the cruise port on that day and let her pick something out.
Yeah. But then it's also an entire day of things that you can do. The port has so much going on. So I mentioned that we have 2 bars. So after the event, you can still go down there and chill at the 2 bars. But we also have an amazing marketplace that has about 50 vendors. And with those vendors, we also have food and beverage. So you could legitimately take your mom down to lunch, have lunch at the port, take her shopping at the port, and then go down to the bars and chill.
So I was going to ask you, because it isn't a long time, 11 to 2, but you want people to stick around after that.
Absolutely. There's so much to do at Nassau Cruise Port. We have the Museum of Junk Canoe. And it's so awesome because the Junk Canoe Museum is also offering free entry to mothers on that day.
Oh, okay.
So you get also now to, after our event, you go up to the Junk Canoe Museum, take your tour, learn a bit more about our history. We think that we know everything about Junk Canoe, but you don't know everything about Junkanoo until you go into that museum. Honestly, so take a trip, walk around it, and have a good time and share memories with your mom. And one thing that we want to do, and I always push for, is to have a segment of our events where we could actually capture the moment. And so we will actually have a photo booth on site, and you can take a picture with your mom and have it printed out, and you can always have that with you as well.
That's very
and
nice.
so you will remember the day for sure, and it's definitely a wonderful follow-up to the actual Mother's Day.
All right, so I was going to ask you, I think you touched on it a bit. So outside of the 6 main signature stores, other booths will be offering specials this day as well.
Yes, we have Paradise Jewelry and Handbags. They're offering specials. We have also a 360 machine booth that goes around, so you also get a video. They're having a special as well. So we have a lot of people who are preparing for Mother's Day and ready to give you amazing discounts as you shop through our marketplace. And like I said, 50 vendors. And when I say there is a massive array of items, you get from honey, legitimately behemoth honey, jarred and everything, to you got seasonings, you got basically anything that you could think of. You have it there. You have conch shell jewelry, you have regular jewelry, you have handbags, you have straw bags if that's what you're looking for. You have even paintings, straight down to paintings. If you are a mom who loves art, we have a store set up just with Bohemian paintings.
Beautiful.
Woodwork. Anything you could think of, we have it there.
Right.
If your budget tight or if your money long,
either way, if it's short or long, you could find something in Nassau Cruise Port, and that's what's so exciting about our space. It holds a lot, and once again, we're pushing a very authentically Bohemian brand. And so when you shop at Nassau Cruise Port, you could feel good in knowing that either the hands that made this was Bohemian, or the creativity and design that went into this was from a Bohemian.
Yeah. All right, so this is Saturday, again, 11 to 2, but stick around all day.
All day.
Is anything happening on actual Mother's Day on Sunday?
On Mother's Day, I think they're going to be doing, we probably have our DJ out and good vibes. So like I said, we have 2 bars that are always there and waiting to help serve you. So you can create any type of atmosphere and event when you come to the cruise port, because there is so much to do. So if you want to take your day and start with a nice store at the Junkie Museum, have lunch, and then have drinks, that's fine. We also have Bamboo Shack at the Nassau Cruise Port. So if you just want to grab some chicken in the bag and then grab a drink, that's also fine. Like, there are plenty options and plenty of things to do. You just set it up.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you walk out of House of Assembly with a receipt, you might need to go to the Bamboo Shack to get mommy a snack.
Agreed. I love it. Yes.
Wow. All right. This sounds great. Remind people about it. When, where, and you just have to show up, right?
Yeah. So Saturday, May 11th. Nassau Cruise Port, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hosted by Anthea Smith, music by DJ Melody. We have Picturesque there to give you your photos. We have amazing food and drinks from our vendors. You have 50 options to choose from within our marketplace and 6 major Bohemian brands to shop in. House of Assembly, Bahari, My Ocean, Vita Koya, Bahama Handprint, and of course the wonderful Royal of Grey Cliff.
Okay, got a couple questions here. Somebody's asking, where is parking for the cruise port?
So parking, especially on the weekends, is a bit easier actually to find than on the weekend. I mean on the weekdays, because of clearly, people who work downtown take up a lot of parking as well. So weekends, you can find parking at the front of the cruise port. Since the renovation, we've actually created a lot of parking spaces to the front. So along the cruise port border, you can actually park there if you find parking there. There are different areas that allow for paid parking, so you could just pay and walk. And then I see a lot of people park at Elizabeth on Bay as well. A lot of people do that. So honestly, you can find parking through the arcades, through anywhere. Especially on the weekend, I would say parking is much better during that time.
Yeah. All right, so I have to ask you about this. Yesterday, that was circulated around that beginning, I think, is it this week, the happy hour on Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to start paying for that. Tell us about that. Tell us about what people need to know.
So our happy hour, and I just want to say, first of all, thank you to the Bohemians who have supported our happy hour. We truly, truly, truly appreciate you. It has grown to something that I don't even think we quite knew it was going to grow into. It got so big, and it's so much fun, though. We do enjoy having it. One of our big things is, as a part of the downtown community, we want to pour into downtown. And we wanted to get back to the point where I can remember in my young days wanting to go to Bay Street because that's where all the hype was. And we want to get it back to that point where Bay Street is the center, because that's what the downtown area should be, the center of the nightlife, the center of the excitement. So that's why we started Happy Hour. And it has really blossomed into something incredible where we have actual Bahamian professionals come down and just let their hair down, just decompress from a long week. And it's been great.
How big has it been? Like in terms of numbers, do you know?
Boy, I would say, I think the first Happy Hour we had, I'm just going to estimate and say we had maybe like 150 persons. The last count that I received for Happy Hour, we had shot like a little bit over 1,000.
Wow.
So you could imagine the growth, right?
Yeah.
And so I know that a lot of people are now seeing the poster that you paying for Happy Hour and stuff like that. And it's mainly because, one, we had a huge cry for us to go longer. When we first started Happy Hour, it was 4 to 8 p.m. And we were very set on keeping that time. And if you have attended any of our Happy Hours, y'all know how we go with the time. If we say 8 p.m., we mean 8 p.m. Now, if 5's going, sometimes security would say, hey, go a little bit over or something like that. But we have a very hard cut at 8 p.m. And Bahamians are like, no, we need more. So we have to understand that the port is still a port. It's still a port of entry. We still have to protect our port at all costs. And our security has to show up 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. every morning.
Wow.
So when you're working later that night and trying to go until 11 o'clock, which they want us to do, we still got to remember that we still have personnel that has to show up for our work. And so we're balancing giving the people what they want and also taking care of our own in our team members, And so in order to have that extra hour, we also have to pay overtime. And so, cost is associated with all of this.
Everything.
And so now the monetary side of it is just to ensure that we have what we need in order to run the Happy Hour well. And also, just to make sure that the professionals that we want are the target market and are coming in. We don't want the young kids. We do ID checks. Like, you're not going to come by and be under 18 and roll up in there. We're very serious about it because we want people to be able to have fun and do it safe.
Right.
And so that's what's big for us. And so, yes, the cost of it did increase, and we do have that out. But we're hoping that people see the value of what we have to offer and understand that money is required in order for us to run things. And so that's just basically it.
But you still get something for the money.
Yeah.
Tell us the cost, and you get something.
It's $10, and you get a complimentary drink when you walk in.
Hey, man.
Oh, that's nice.
You're buying a drink.
And it was free for...
Yeah, when I came, it was free.
Yeah, it was...
And they checked my ID.
Right. So it was free for for 3 months, I would say. 3.5 months, we did it for free. Carrying it completely on our own. And we did the best that we can on that. But as long as there's a demand for us to grow, we have to, make sense, business sense.
Makes sense to me.
So as of Friday, it'll be $10, but you still will get a drink.
Yes, you will get a drink. Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And we want people to still understand that when you come to Happy Hour, our intent is for you to have a good time, to network, talk to, because I've heard the stories about how many people have connected with people they haven't seen for years at Happy Hour. And that has, I'm pretty sure, I've ventured into other things that we don't even know about. But that's the point, to bring these wonderful professionals together after a long day of work to see your friend. And you never know what seeing that friend could lead to, business ideas, business ventures, and stuff like that. And that's the atmosphere that we want to give. And then for those who just want to chill and have a good time because they had a long week, also that space is available for them as well. But like I said, everything costs money, so we're just trying to do the best that we can with it.
All right, so how's that going to work? Can you pay cash? Is it cashless?
When you come to the door, we do cash mostly, but if you have a card, by all means, by all means, we're not going to stop you. We'll just find an avenue for you to pay with the card, and that's completely fine. We've done it multiple times. So cash and card is accepted. But yeah, like I said, we don't want that to discourage people. We just want you to think of it as in us upgrading the experience.
So right now, for the most part, by the time Happy Hour kicks off, all the ships are gone, typically?
For the most part. So we start at 3 to 9 now.
Oh, 3? Okay.
Yeah, so we do 3 to 9. So in most cases, we have maybe 1 or 2 ships
people
still in.
making their way back.
Yeah, so they walk. And honestly, the passengers, they love it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many dance breakouts we've had. People coming in from their tours, and they legit just in the middle of the plaza just dancing because they like the music, they like the vibes. And one thing that I always get working at the port is that passengers love to be with the locals. They love it. They ask me all the time, where can I hang with the locals? Where can I go? And I'm like, when you walk in downtown, you are legitimately among locals. So, have conversations and experience that. But they love to party with the locals. So with our bars being there and stuff like that, they have a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. How are things going with programming for the stage and stuff? Any insight you could give for what's coming up?
You know what? I am going to allow Amanda and Aisha to handle that at some point in time. But what I will say is that we are doing everything possible to make sure that Nassau Cruise Port maintains this energy of being the place to be, because we are the place to be. We have everything lined up, and it is designed so beautifully, and it's done so beautifully that we have to share it with our locals. And we want Bahamians to understand that this is our port, not just Nassau Cruise, but this is our port. So come down and enjoy it. Definitely as summertime comes, you'll see more events popping up. But we just did Soulful Sundays, and that went wonderful. It honestly was a great event, and we're happy about that and excited to have the next edition of it.
When will that be?
The next quarter, so about August, I think. Yeah.
Right. Don't forget about us for the anniversary party.
Hey, that's coming up, right? Wow. Already.
About that time, yeah.
That is wild. That is
almost a year.
Time.
And wait,
May.
soon.
May.
Yes,
May. Yeah, this month.
Yeah, the end of the month.
End of the month, yeah.
Good God.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That is wild. That is wild. Okay, so remind folks about, before we get to that, the happy hour, that's only on Fridays?
Happy hour is only on Fridays. Every Friday, but only on Fridays.
Okay. Right.
But the pot is open up every day, because I get that question a lot too.
Yeah.
Some people think because happy hour isn't happening, the pot isn't open. No, the pot is open every day.
You can make your own happy hour.
Make your own happy hour.
Right,
yep.
Another day. All right, so remind folks about Saturday, what's going to be happening.
So Sip and Shop Mother's Day edition, Saturday, May 11, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., hosted by Anthea Smith, and music by DJ Melody. We have Picturesque to be on site with pictures that you could take and capture with your mom. Like I said, 50 vendors within our marketplace, including food and beverage vendors. And then we have our 6 major retail stores: Bahari, House of Assembly, My Ocean, Vida Koya, Bahama Handprints, and the Roller Creek Cliff.
Wonderful stuff. Yeah. So Saturday, and you can still come out on Sunday too.
Come out on Sunday, yeah, man. Especially, I think our gallery and wine bar is such an amazing vibe for mothers, because it's actually an art gallery. Yeah. Shout out to Antonio Roberts and his team there. But it is an amazing gallery, and right now we have an installation by Preston Hanna, and it's so beautiful. So the energy and the vibes, the lounge chairs and the bar, I think that's a great day to spend with your mom. So come down and have some wine and mimosas on Sunday.
Wonderful stuff. Sean Gomez, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Nassau Cruise Port, the place to be. Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
And Sunday.
You might as well say every other day, right? Every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's a vibey place.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and I'll be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Everything you've given me, I always keep it inside. You're the driving force in my life. Yeah. There isn't anything or anyone that I could be, and it just wouldn't feel right. Never didn't have you by my side. Oh, you were there for me to love and care for me when skies were gray. Whenever I was down, you were always there to comfort me. And no one else can be what you have been to me. You will always be, you will always be the girl in my life for all time. Mama, mama, you know I love you. You know I love you, mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Yes, it is. Mama, I just want you to know my soul. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh.
RBC.
Is a bed for all of you.
Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure. RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
This is the National Youth Guard program designed to train young people to help the Bahama Islands in times of disaster.
I decided to join to better serve my country as well as to better myself.
We train to help in search and rescue,
electrical, plumbing, and carpentry.
And things that they can actually expand on in their careers.
Young people who join the Youth Guard program discover a sense of purpose and a sense of patriotism.
To learn more and apply, visit nyg.bahamas.gov.bs.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and it is time for our twice monthly segment with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. We've got a couple things we're talking about this morning, and we're very pleased to have with us Executive Director Samantha Roll, and she's brought with her from the Zonta Club of New Providence, President Yvette Ingraham. Ladies, great to have you with us. Welcome.
Hi,
Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
All right, so we've got a couple of things to talk about. This is about the whole Women Forum and the Bold Beginnings Bootcamp.
Well, yeah. So, SBDC partnered with Zonta Club Nassau, New Providence, as part of the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative. So, we have a number of initiatives we have outlined from last year. So this is one of our 3-year initiatives. And yes, it is focused on women entrepreneurs across any industry sector, across the archipelago. And the great thing about this year is that we have once again partnered with different stakeholders. And so this year we have our Digital Divas that's happening right now, and we'll talk more about that later on. But another great thing is our partnership with Zonta. And I'll let, Yvette kind of talk about it. But the key thing is to make sure that we are touching various groups of entrepreneurs. And that's very important. And so Zonta has been doing this for so many years in terms of, training, empowering, and connecting with young women. And so it was just a fantastic fit to partner with them to make sure that we can support within that entrepreneurial track. And that's what the partnership is really all about.
Okay, all right. So Yvette, again, for those who might not be familiar with Zonta, I don't know who those people would be because we have Zonta on all the time. But let people know what Zonta Club is all about.
Yes. So, as you said, I am the president of Zonta Club of New Providence. We are a member of Zonta International, which is a global organization of individuals working to empower women. We want to build a better world for women and girls. So our focus is on women and girls. And it really is because we know if we take care of the woman, she's going to take care of the family. So it's not about not wanting to take care of men. We just know that that mom, that lady in the house is going to make sure everybody is taken care of. Her partner, her kids, everything else.
And how long has Zonta been around now?
So our club has been around since 1997. So we're about, 27 now? And we have a sister club, an older club. Our big sister club, Zonta Club in Nassau, who I think about 20 years older than we are.
Okay.
So there are two clubs in the Bahamas.
And Zonta started when, internationally?
Oh, internationally, Zonta celebrated 100 years about 5 years ago. So
wow.
we're probably, so.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so tell us more about that focusing on the woman.
Right, so we have a number of programs that we do to try and make sure our women are taken care of. We have a program at the Willamette Pratt School where we do empowerment sessions. So we go in and work with the girls, talk about conflict resolution, try to get them on a different path. But one of the things we also do is provide year-round tutoring, math and English. We want them to be able to get through those BGCSE and BJC subjects. So, they do well in their exams. And like I said, we want them to really get on a different path. And we also have a workforce readiness program that we do every year in partnership with BTVI, and that is really focused on unemployed women. So we take 20 to 30 unemployed women every year, put them through a 3-week program, and we talk about whether it's legal stuff, a bit of entrepreneurship. We talk about marketing, how to dress for success, how to do a resume, how to conduct themselves on the job. So we really want them to be a lot more employable at the end of the day. And with BTVI, they do a 2-week training on Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Wow. So when they leave, we want them to be able to put on that resume what they've learned and go onto the job world much more prepared than they were before.
And when you say we, these are your members who are doing this, women who are working themselves and have families and are taking the time out to do this for other women.
And we engage some other, experts in their fields. So we cover the whole gamut of things.
Excellent.
But the goal is really, and we have scholarships that we offer. We have a scholarship at University of the Bahamas. We offer scholarships at the end of that other program to BTVI as well. We also have a Save a Life campaign, we call it, we do every year around breast cancer and breast cancer awareness, paying for women to have mammograms done. This year we worked with the disabled community because we know oftentimes people don't think about them when it comes to getting things like that done. And then we have a campaign where we raise money to get those ports and needles for women who need to have that cancer treatment because without that, they can't get the treatment. So we have a number of things, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's great stuff. All right, so let's get this out of the way. We know the texts are going to come, but Zonta is now allowing men to
men
join.
Can join, yes. For a long time, it was a women's organization. Kind of working alongside. Not working alongside, but it was like Rotary. Rotary was only for the men, and so the women, the spouses said, "Okay, we'll have our own organization to do kind of similar work." So yes, but it is open. The thing about it though is whether men join or not, the focus is on empowering.
Okay,
women.
right. Do you have any men yet in
Not
Zonta here in the Bahamas?
No, but internationally they do.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. So tell us about the partnership with Access Accelerator, Small Business Development Center.
Yes. So as I said, we have a program that's focusing on women who want to work and getting back into the workforce. So we decided we also wanted to focus on those women who wanted to be entrepreneurs and try and provide some funding for them. Because oftentimes we get persons saying, listen, we have a woman in need, she can't pay her bills, and we're often just giving money. But we wanted to do something different. We wanted to put the women in a position to be able to take care of themselves. And that's why we wanted to do this. And we knew that SBDC would have been the perfect partner because they have the structure in place and they have done this a million times. They can do it with their eyes closed.
So you approached
who found who?
them? Yeah.
Yes, we approached them.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chicken or the egg.
And they were extremely receptive. And like I said, they have a lot of resources and information. So we know that, at the end of the day, we will only have 5 women who, get the grant. But of all the women who go through the program, the training is so important. They're going to benefit only from the training.
Oh, so this happens. We talk about this a lot, Samantha. But is it really different for women, a woman entrepreneur versus a man? What are the obstacles? What are some of the unique situations they face?
So we've found, based on statistics, even our own independent survey, when we've surveyed women and their perspective and lenses, quite a number of them understand that, yes, there are resources available to them. Whether or not they believe that they have equal access to those resources, the percentages are high, leaning towards no, right? Then statistics would also show, and I'm talking about, international organizations who have pools to say that women have a different pool of challenges compared to a man or their counterpart. Some of those challenges involve, whether or not they have equal access to mentorship, to networking opportunities, whether or not they have equal access to funding. And if they do, do they believe or have the confidence to ask for just as much as a man would? And so we've found in our own statistics that women tend to, yes, while they may take the leap of faith to go into their own business and seek funding, the amount of funding that they would ask for is significantly less than their counterpart, right? So that's one aspect. Then you have to consider the woman.
Why do you think that is?
I think that has to do with their fear of failure. And we found that women tend to, which are great qualities and traits, very detail-oriented. I don't want to take on more risk than I think I can handle, and those types of things. And so they tend to just, okay, well, I'm going to just ask for $5,000 and see how that works and be very, very conscious of that. Whereas men typically have they got that confidence. Right. I want the whole hog. Give me everything, right? And so you have those nuances that you have to understand how to navigate as an individual, as a whole woman. And then in addition to that, women are the wife, they're the mother, right? They're the sister, they're the daughter. And so you have to consider that family factor, that nurturing factor, whereas women, when they are entrepreneurs, they are also lifing. And so they have to take care of the kids, usually in most households. They take care of the parents, usually in most households. And so it's kind of understanding all of that dynamic while being an entrepreneur. So yes, women are definitely one of those vulnerable groups that need that added support. And that support doesn't necessarily always mean financial support. They need that support to understand that there are ways that you can navigate the landscape or the journey of entrepreneurship and being a business owner, even with those nuances and family life.
I imagine Zonta is chock full of successful women entrepreneurs.
Well, we do have quite a few of them in our organization. And so we really want to kind of bring some more in, and we also want to encourage the other women out there who might not be a part of Zonta to take on that role. And the good thing about SBDC is, again, their program and their training is broad enough to encompass all the things that she talked about. So it isn't just about, just running the business, but it's understanding, the mental side of it, all the challenges, balancing act you have to do. So that's why we're so happy to have the training component be a part of it. Because a lot of times people just want the money. Just give me the money and run it. But there's a lot more that goes into running a business, and we want these women to be successful. And that's why we wanted to have more than just giving out cash.
All right, so tell us about the program, how it works, and who can take part or who's taking part. Give us all the details now.
So it's open to women in the Bahamas. We probably were going to. These are going to be micro grants, $1,000 to 5 women. So we probably will have about maybe 25 persons in the group.
Yeah,
and they will make their pitch.
Yes.
They will go through a 4-week training program. And Samantha could talk a little bit more about that side of it.
And again, this is the Bold Beginnings
Yes,
Bootcamp.
this is the Bold Beginnings Bootcamp, women's entrepreneurial training. And it's really geared towards whether it's new or existing businesses, and making sure that we're able to give them the information around entrepreneurship. So a lot of the program for the 4 weeks is outlined to focus on things having to do with, business models and best practices. We have it where you formalizing your business. You're talking about marketing essentials and what it is around branding. We're talking about customer service, financial literacy. But then, we don't stop there, which is the technical concepts around a business. We then also focus on mental health and mentorship and relationship and how those connections and making sure that those connections are sound and fruitful also helps with the success of your business as a woman, or as to be honest with you, as any entrepreneur. Right? And so we have those various training sessions going on. And then at the end of it, we love when we do our pitch competitions, because we want to also make sure that persons understand, yes, it is invaluable information to go through the training sessions. You want to have, those components from experts, across local experts, that is, across the industry spectrum. And yes, you want to have the funding, but the training is just as important. But you should also have some skin in the game. Right? And having that skin in the game is really presenting. It's being able to pitch your idea. It's becoming comfortable pitching your idea, your concept. It's engaging persons who can perhaps even invest in your business further. But the pitch competition, it would then determine out of the 25 participants, those winners who will rise to be awarded the micro grant.
All right. So when does it start? What are the deadlines that people need to keep in mind?
Yeah, so we're going to open up the application process for May 10th. So that's right around the corner.
Coming up.
And we're going to allow the application to stay for a few weeks. And so it closes May 27th. Once we go through it and, we can determine the 25, the courses then begin June 4th.
Okay. All right.
Right, and so they will be meeting about twice a week for 4 weeks to go through that program.
Right.
And the thing about it is we chose, like I say, I know when people hear SBDC, they all a lot of times think it has to be a big amount of money. I'm probably not going to qualify for that. And that's why we chose to go with the smaller amounts, because we have women out there who are doing things. They have their side hustle, or they're trying to build their business. And, they're only able to grow that business a little because they're just using the money they make today to buy supplies for the next go round. We wanted to give them a boost. Because someone can say, listen, if I got enough stuff to be able to buy more supplies to bake more cakes, I could sell more rather than having to be doing one or two. If I had more supplies to be able to do nails or lashes, I could take on more customers. And that's what we want to be able to do. Give those women an opportunity to,
So the grant is being provided by Zonta?
By Zonta.
Okay.
Oh. Yes, so it's a Zonta Club in New Providence.
Okay. Well, that is very cool. So again, you're looking, it could be existing businesses.
It could be existing businesses, and for the most part, it's probably going to be the smaller businesses, because they're the ones who are going to need that smaller level of support in terms of monetarily, but needing more support probably in terms of making sure the structure is there and it's a sound business. They've gone through all of the proper setting up of their business and how they run it, and understanding what you need to do when you run a business, what your service should look like. You can't take money out of the cash register all the time. You got to pay yourself a salary. All of these different things.
So, and we're not necessarily looking at those businesses that are brick and mortar. We're talking about those who do the hair braiding and those, because they are entrepreneurs. That's a business, and so we want to be able to touch those entrepreneurs and provide that support that they would need to make sure that they can then expand that type of business that they have.
So you're gonna have a pitch competition, and that'll determine who gets the grant money.
Yes.
The pitch competition.
Yes.
All right. And you're taking 25 people?
Yeah, there
to
would be
start?
25 who would go through the entrepreneurial training
Right.
program.
And then you'll determine who goes into pitch.
Yes. So we typically would have the criteria throughout the training program that would allow them to then be selected for the pitch competition.
All right, so that was a good question. Who's the we? So who will be determining who will be the 25 and who will make it to the final 4 or
It'll
5?
be a joint,
Yeah, okay.
joint effort. Yes.
Right.
So through all of our programs and pitch competitions, we always make sure that we have what we call an independent adjudication committee. And so it's a mix between SBDC, the partner, and externals.
Okay.
Externals could be any industry experts, any partnership between Zonta as well as SBDC. Those individuals who are included in the judging and the review of any pitch deck or application overall. So that's how we operate.
Excellent.
You made an interesting point about the pitch competitions and that sometimes there are people sitting in the crowd who may say, this is an interesting idea. Maybe I'll talk to this person afterwards. Even if they don't they're not a winner or something.
Yes.
Or even through the adjudication process.
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. And we tend to infuse the invitees or the audience with those who may potentially say, hey, I would love to invest in this business. Not necessarily as though they were winners of the pitch competition, but the concept itself was good. And so we do sometimes what we call them as we plant angel investors in the audience to listen in, to support, and they say, it happened at our Young Innovators Bootcamp, right? So we had 6 teams that pitched, and it was just so happened that one of the teams that didn't make or scored in terms of being awarded later on got a phone call from an investor say, I'm here, I have $15,000, I want to invest in your business. And so that happens.
Wow.
That happens. Every pitch competition we've had where there was an investor that would say to an entrepreneur.
15,000?
Yes, 15,000.
Okay. All right.
So it happens, which is another great way because it speaks to one, you may not be an awardee of our pitch competition, but the level of exposure, right? The networking and the fact that there is someone out there who's listening to your idea, listening to your concept, and they can see and be sold by you as the entrepreneur, they're prepared to invest in it.
Impressive. All right, so you mentioned the Young Innovators Bootcamp. There was a lot of physical stuff going on with that boot camp. When we say boot camp here, will these bold women have to endure anything like that?
You're trying to set me up now.
I know, right?
It's a different kind of boot
A
camp.
different kind of boot camp. Ah, okay.
Yes.
No obstacle course.
All right.
Yeah, we leave that for the other one.
I see.
But we're happy to be able to participate, and as she said, to be able to give these women the opportunity to learn a lot more than just. I mean, even if they don't win, and even as members of our club, Zonchans, we're going to be involved to be mentors, to participate in the presentations, and again, touch these women. So at the end of the day, when they leave and they don't win, we still have a connection with them and be able to kind of help them along the way. Maybe it might not be an angel investor, but in some other way, provide some level of assistance and support.
No, you're already an angel here with what you're doing. This is amazing, Zonta. All right, so Yvette Ingraham, is this a one-time thing, or are we going to make this annually, or
we want this to be an annual thing, like we have with our workforce readiness program. Right now, it's just we have to get the funding, so we really want to encourage persons to support us when we have our fundraising events.
Okay.
Every year we have a wine dinner. Where we have 5 courses paired with wine. We have a different theme every year, and that is one of our big fundraisers. It's always the first Saturday in December.
And men can attend that.
Oh, absolutely. The more the merrier. And we're always looking for even sponsors, corporate sponsors. We sell yellow roses, International Women's Day every year. So I know sometimes some of you might see those yellow roses going around, another fundraiser for us. So my thing is, when we have those fundraisers, please support us because it helps us to help women and to be able to put on these types of programs.
This is great stuff. Thank you very much, Yvette Ingraham, for telling us about this. I know you have to go, but this is very exciting. Bold Beginnings Bootcamp. If people want to sign up for it, tell them really quickly what they need to do.
Yeah, so they can access all of the information, the application through our website, our revamped website, spdcbahamas.com. You go there and you can get all of the information. But if you would wish to hear our voice, you can also call us at 461-SPDC or 7232.
Okay. All right. Great stuff, Yvette. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, SBDC. We look
Yvette
forward to
Ingraham
working with you and
Thank
making
you.
this a success.
Zona Club of New Providence. Samantha's going to stick around.
Yes.
We have a lot more to talk about with the
boy.
SBDC. After the break, this is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the best of the best? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, Alpha Sound Promotion, and Guardian Radio presents the best of the best Rake and Script Explosion Concert. Mark your calendars for May 11th as Super Club Breezes grounds ignite with Bahamian talent featuring KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, The Brylanders, Avi, Elon Moxie, and Shine 242.
Right now I feel like whining.
Join the Falcons, Iron Store, Sylvie Pierre, Johnny Cake, Mama D, Nishi LS, Pat Ramis, Stevie S, and Shad Colley and the VIPs for an electrifying night of music and culture. Tickets are flying, so grab yours now. Available online at BahamasEtickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road. This is the event of the year. The best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion at Breezes Resorts. Gates open at 6 p.m. Don't miss out on the Bahamian magic.
You've heard of electric cars. Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill and never get stuck at the pump again. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car, the BYD EV. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style, only at Easy Car Sales.
Here in the Bahamas, we love our food. From savory comforters to refreshing coconut water, our cuisine reflects our vibrant culture and abundant natural resources. But as our population grows, ensuring food sustainability is more critical than ever. By supporting local farmers and fishers, let's honor our traditions, protect our environment, and ensure that the flavors of our Bahamas endure for future generations.
Food security is in our hands. At Simplified Lending, we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. Personal, business, medical. You apply, we'll reply in as little as 24 hours. Call us today at 603-1730 or stop by Simplified Lending in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
Simplified lending for simplified living. Simplified lending for simplified living.
Make Mother's Day one to remember with a delightful Mother's Day brunch valued at $300 courtesy of Haagen-Dazs and Fun Foods Wholesale. It's simple. Just head over to Lickety Split or Super Value locations and purchase a pint of your favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99. After purchasing, don't forget to write your full name and number on the back of your receipt and drop it into any entry box at the store. You're now in the running for our grand prize drawing, taking place on May 10th. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Happy Mother's Day from Haagen-Dazs. Promotion ends May 8th.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President James Carey says the Prime Minister has to have an end game to the impasse between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Carey telling Guardian Business yesterday that while Davis, quote, came in peace at his meeting with the Chamber on Monday evening, there was a sense that he wanted to push Freeport forward. Kerry saying, quote, his view is that Freeport is lagging behind other islands in its development. I hoped that there would have been a more definitive position of what his government's vision is ultimately for Grand Bahama and some information for some time frame for achieving that. Well, there is a hope and a feeling that the government has been talking to outside investors in an effort to take over the Grand Bahama Port Authority, according to Kerry, but he says there's no concrete evidence of that. You can read more on what he's saying in today's Guardian business section. Bahamas Society of Engineers President Dr. Stephen Curran saying health and safety is an ongoing concern in the construction industry, noting that 100 Occupational Safety and Health Administration complaints for 2023 could be the tip of the iceberg. Curran telling Guardian Business that although the Department of Labor recorded 100 of these OSHA-related violations in 2023, the number of infractions could actually be in the thousands. The Department of Labor is celebrating Occupational Safety and Health Administration Week in the first week of May. Grant has worked in several jurisdictions across the Caribbean, as the Bahamas is better than other islands in the region, but not to U.S. standards as yet. Potter's Key dock vendors that lost their stalls in February's dock fire are at risk of losing access to the materials if they don't claim them soon. That's according to Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Jomo Campbell. He told Guardian Business yesterday that money for building materials has been set aside for vendors to shop for their materials at FYP Builders Mall. He also said some have collected their materials already, while a few others have not done so. They are at risk of losing the materials. And Grand Bahama veteran straw vendor of 52 years, Lorenzo McKenzie, telling Guardian Business that he was looking for a solutions-packed speech from Prime Minister Philip Davis on Monday, but found only spin. McKenzie says he's worried that the government is listening too much to the opinions of people who live outside Freeport. You can get more on his views in today's Guardian Business section as well. Overseas, FTX says that nearly all of its customers will receive the money back that they are owed 2 years after the cryptocurrency exchange imploded. FTX says that some will get more than that as well. FTX saying in a court filing late Tuesday that it owes about $11.2 billion to its creditors. The exchange estimates that it has between $14.5 billion and $16.3 billion to distribute to them. The filing says that after paying claims in full, the plan provides for supplemental interest payments to creditors to the extent that funds still remain. The interest rate for most creditors is 9%. That may be a diminished consolation for investors who were trading cryptocurrency on the exchange when it collapsed. When FTX sought bankruptcy protection in November 2022, Bitcoin was going for $16,080. But crypto prices have soared as the economy recovered, while the assets at FTX were sorted out over the past 2 years. A single Bitcoin on Tuesday was selling for close to $62,675. That comes out to a 290% loss. A Bitcoin a bit less than if it accrued interest is accounted, but investors held on to the coins. Customers and creditors that claim $50,000 or less will get about 118% of their claim, according to that plan, which is filed in U.S. bankruptcy court in the District of Delaware. This covers about 98% of FTX customers. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers consolidated Commonwealth Bank moving 5,000 shares, closing up 25 cents to $5.25. Consolidated Water up 5 cents as well, closing at $5.41. Emira Incorporated down 3 cents, closing at $8.50. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,904.66, up 0.27. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. We're talking with Samantha Roll, the Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center. And as we said earlier, you got a whole lot going on always, including the Whole Woman Forum.
Yes. So before we get to that, though, can I just highlight one of the other components of the Women Entrepreneurs?
Sure.
And, I want to do this because I think the team, did such a fantastic job with our first session relative to the Digital Divas. And so we launched the Digital Divas just yesterday. It's about 8 trainings, virtual, of course, so all participants, New Providence and the Family Islands can participate. And, when we were looking at the registration for this, we started to get excited. We started to get excited because we saw it jump from 200 to 400 to 710. That was the last time I looked at it.
What?
So we had 710 registrants. And, we had our own internal bet to see whether or not we would have more registrants for Digital Divas compared to the Young Innovators Bootcamp. And so I am sure that the registrants went over 1,000. Wow. Why are you looking at me like that, Dwight?
I'm just surprised. Why? Okay, that's you expected it to be that high?
Yes.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Yes, right. we do. And so I'm excited to see, what the results were like in terms of who participated yesterday evening, because it was the first course.
Yeah.
But I saw quite a bit of commentary about the quality of the session and the fact that the information shared was invaluable. The first session was really about, the introduction to digital skills and tools. So that's the whole thing is Digital Divas.
Okay.
Right?
And this is, again, only women.
Yes, this is, again, only women. This is a women's entrepreneur initiative.
Right.
So, but if the men feel like they would like to, participate in the training sessions, by all means.
Okay.
I'm sure, just by the dynamic, they would be disqualified for the grad, though.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the premise behind Digital Divas?
Well, it's really about getting or preparing women in that digital space. Right, and so how to utilize artificial intelligence, being hip to cybersecurity. Right. How do we then perhaps look at e-commerce? So it's all about using these various tools, understanding these concepts to either enhance or protect your business, and that's what it's about.
8 of these.
Yes, it's about 8 sessions.
And every week, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we have it twice a week.
Okay.
And so we're doing it twice a week so that we can get through it in time for, it is a prerequisite for the grant application that will open up in June. And so it's just, again, making sure that people understand, yes, we provide access to the funding. Funding is important. The training, the knowledge, the information is just as critical. And so we want to make sure that we set up all of our clients, all of our entrepreneurs to take advantage of these training sessions. And they are being facilitated by those experts within the field. And so I know that our facilitator is Dr. Nicole Andrews. So, doing a fantastic job sharing and pouring out into our entrepreneurs, making sure that they have the information and the tools in order to succeed. And so back to your question, right? So your question is all about the Whole Women Forum. And so last year, we had a fantastic time with our tea parties. And we enjoyed that's the old British way of engaging and networking. But at the same time, we
Big
had
hats and floral dresses, you mean?
And floral dresses, and the fascinators, right? But it's all about feeling good, right? And I think people, they dismiss that. When you feel good about yourself, you look good, you present yourself well, you're open to then accepting all of the things, the knowledge that you need to do in order to succeed. And so spinning off of our, dainty tea party into what we consider to be the Whole Woman Forum, which is more of a deep dive. And that's a deep dive into the whole person, right? So yes, you want to understand the business concepts, right? Financials and, how do I deal with my branding and marketing, promotion and pricing and all those things. But you also need to factor in that whole person. So that mental, that physical, that relationship health. And that's what the Whole Woman Forum is about. It's for us to have panel discussions around those topics, because it's those connections that can actually impact how you succeed, how you view life, how you view doing business, how you connect with business partners or clients or vendors. And so it's making sure that that, how you're treating the whole person as an entrepreneur, and then connecting with those others that help with the success of your business. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah. Excellent. So how does this work? How do people take part in this one?
Yeah, so they can, it's actually May 16th at 11 a.m., and we're doing that in partnership with the Bahamas Baptist Union Conference at Salem Union Baptist Church on Taylor Street. And we will have it available to where persons they can either join, it's open to the public. We believe that we have capacity to hold, more than 100. And so we welcome everyone to come and join us in those discussions.
Okay.
How do you sign up for it? What do you do? Just show
up. Sign up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Just show up.
Now, what will happen, though, is the Whole Woman Forum is also a prerequisite for those who intend to apply for the grant. So we will have, registration at the location, a QR, so we make sure we capture those. And so we're obviously recording, making sure that persons would have fulfilled those prerequisites.
Right. So the 16th, that's Thursday? Is that right?
Next week.
So,
if I'm not mistaken.
What time did you say it's happening?
It's at 11 a.m.
Okay.
It's at 11 a.m. It's part of the conference that is being hosted. But listen, if you are unable to come in person, we will be live, and we will record for television as well. So we intend to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So remind people about the women entrepreneurship. How, if you missed it last year, if you want to be a part of this, what you need to be doing now.
I don't know how you could have missed it last year. We were oversubscribed.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic that we were able to, out of the 400 plus applications, award about 79 women to help feed and fund their business. And so I think we did that in a tune of about maybe 700,000 across industries, across the Bahamas. So it was not just New Providence. We actually had a greater share of Family Islands than New Providence. And we're making sure that that's an intentional effort for that support. For this year, we've already started. So, the team has done a fantastic job in curating information sessions. And that started that started in April. And then we went into the Digital Divas, which just launched last night. And for the application itself, that doesn't launch until June.
Right.
And so there will be further details that'll come out. The thing that we'll do around this entire initiative is make sure that it is also very informative to the public. And so you'll hear, we're going to curate some ad commercials around, the statistics and some of the questions that you ask. Do women really need this kind of support?
Right.
I mean, aren't we tired talking about women and all the support that we're giving them? And that's tongue in cheek, of course.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm sure I don't sound like that when I'm saying it. It's like with disgust. No, but people do want to know those
Yes,
things, right?
they do.
Right.
And so we're going to provide all of that information. And the great thing about the evolution of SBDC is that, we've expanded from not just collecting that information, but sharing it. Because we believe that's important. We need to, publish the information that we're collecting around entrepreneurship in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And so you'll see more of that coming out with our partners included. But listen, Dwight, okay, yes, we're talking about women entrepreneurs. And I'm sure if you haven't received that text message yet, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
So let me just address it now. We have heard the cries of those who say, well, what are you going to have from men? What's happening from men? Why is everything around women? Which it actually is not.
Right.
But we have heard it, and we are actually looking into curating a Men in Business program. Okay. And so we currently have a survey out, and we're asking all of those. They can go onto our website, click the link. We've been sharing it across all of our social media platforms, and complete the survey, because we do curate these programs based on the information and input we receive from these target audiences. And so, complete that survey, and we're going to use that information to come back and share with you what we've gotten from the men in business.
Yeah. Okay, but as you've said, and Felice Bethel said, everybody says, you've got tons of programs that men can apply for, right?
Yes.
But that was really interesting early with Yvette Ingraham with Zonta Club of New Providence. They approached you.
Yes.
A mainly women's organization that approached you about doing something for women.
Yes.
Are the men's groups coming to you? Oh, boy. And why aren't they? every day we get these messages about what about men, but the men's groups are not coming to say, hey, we want to help you design something for men.
Yeah, I we haven't engaged in it with any particular men's group to say we need to curate a program for men. Now,
but they haven't also sought you out for that.
Well, no, not directly. They have not. Now, I would say that we've actually had one or two men who have walked into our office to say, "Where's the program for men?" And so we've, engaged them to make sure that we inform them of all of the programs that are open, regardless of gender.
Right.
And so, but we don't want to dismiss the concern about, where's the focus on men? Because there is this concern now that we are losing our men, right? We have a number of men at risk. If you look at the stats, it show that there are more women in universities and college, graduating high schools, passing high schools. And so there is this concern we're losing our men. And so, we would certainly want to be able to look at that and understand that, hence the reason for the Men in Business Survey, right? How can we engage our young men and, to be able to look at entrepreneurship in the way to where they don't have to result or, look to any other means to survive.
But you guys have found through, obviously you would know, more women coming to the SBDC to start businesses, right?
Yeah.
Overall.
Well, we actually have a mix. So again, using our surveys, we found that it's 50-50.
Right.
Right?
Young Innovators was pretty much 50-50, right?
Yeah, we found it as 50-50.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, perhaps the difference would be in the age group, right? The way you find that it's 50-50. But yeah.
Well, explain it some more. What do you mean?
So no, what I mean by that is we have more of the millennials, the Gen Z, reaching out to us, engaging us for support. And even in that grouping, it's still 50-50.
What about funded?
For what, men or women who are funded?
Who
made it? It's 49, So it's not,
close.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty even.
Yeah,
it's pretty even.
So it's not like men don't know that SBDC is a resource.
I believe men do know SBDC is a resource, but I think where there has been this intentional focus on women, and women being a legitimate vulnerable group, women and young people, that sometimes, there's this, why are we so focused on women when they see the perception of women dominating the professional areas, right? Which is, yes, they may be there, but then is there equality or equal pay? Right? So you look at those nuances. And so it's important to understand what the challenges are when it comes to women and men. And so for women, they do need that added support.
I'm going to be honest. I filled out the survey.
The Men in Business survey?
Yeah. And at the end of it, I was like, I don't get it.
Why did you say that?
Well, even as we have the conversation about a special program for men, I feel like I don't get it.
You feel like you don't get it in terms of why is it needed?
Yeah, I don't.
Can you tell us some of the questions? Do you know? Should I look online? But I mean, it's what are you hoping to find out, and what's the timeline looking like?
So I think now we don't have a timeline as yet, right? So we would have asked there is a deadline for everyone or the men to complete the survey. And so the deadline is end of this month, right? So we wanted to give sufficient time for persons to access the survey and complete it. What we are looking to see is, and we're not having any preconceived notions, right? So we want the data to tell us, whether it's not that it could very well speak to, well, do you believe or do you agree that you have equal access to funding and you have equal access to resources, and whether the areas you believe you may need some training development in, and those types of questions that are being asked. And so from there, we want to be able to then look at the data and say, well, okay, maybe we should do a program focused on training for a particular group, because we also ask for demographics. So we want to understand age, we want to understand educational background, et cetera, right? And so based on that, we then curate a program. It may very well be where we curate a program that is focused on, men at risk.
Right.
Right. And so we want to use the data that we collect to then inform what type of program is needed.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Samantha, let's do our civic duty right now. Let's tell the men of the Bahamas right now what they can do if they come to SBDC, what programs are available to them.
So regardless of gender, we are open to all entrepreneurs across the archipelago. We have dedicated our resources, our team members, and to a large part of it, this is intrinsic to us. We are passionate about the work that we do for everyone. And so whether you're a man or a woman, you can come to the SBDC. You can look at our website, sbdcbahamas.com. You can look to see what programs are currently running. I mean, we have our flagship program, the Guaranteed Loan Program, that is open to anybody across industries, whereas we've partnered with the IDB to afford entrepreneurs up to $500,000, where we would then collateralize or guarantee, as it's called, that funding. And we're working with a number of financial institutions to support that program. That is open to everyone, right? We just closed not too long ago the food security program. Again, open to everyone. It's just designated towards the agriculture and fisheries space, but again, open to everyone. And so a number of our programs, just about all of our programs, are open to everyone. Yeah. It is only this Women Entrepreneur program. You have to be a woman.
Right. Okay. All right. So again, remind folks, if you are just hearing about the Women's Entrepreneur Program now, if you already missed some of these sessions, is it too late? Even though the application
It's never too late to participate in the training aspect, I think. I think we will make that available to you if you reach out to us and say, I want to participate in the Digital Divas. And so we will access that to you. However, there were a number of prerequisites leading up to it, and we want to make sure that persons don't just apply for the grant funding and miss all of the other things that are just as crucial. Right. And so, there will always be next year, because we did promise a 3-year run. This is our second year, so there will be next year.
Oh boy, what happens after the third year?
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Well, it's always exciting to talk with you. Time has gone by very quickly. Samantha Roll, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you both, Chester.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Heard of electric cars? Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill and never get stuck at the pump again. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car, the BYD EV. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style, only at Easy Car Sales.
Here in the Bahamas, we love our food. From savory comforters to refreshing coconut water, our cuisine reflects our vibrant culture and abundant natural resources. But as our population grows, ensuring food sustainability is more critical than ever. By supporting local farmers and fishers, let's honor our traditions, protect our environment, and ensure that the flavors of our Bahamas endure for future generations.
Food security is in our hands.
At Simplified Lending, we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. Personal, business, medical. You apply, we'll reply in as little as 24 hours. Call us today at 603-1730 or stop by Simplified Lending in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
Simplified Lending for simplified living. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
Make Mother's Day one to remember with a delightful Mother's Day brunch valued at $300 courtesy of Haagen-Dazs and Fun Foods Wholesale. It's simple. Just head over to Lickety Split or Super Value locations and purchase a pint of your favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99. After purchasing, don't forget to write your full name and number on the back of your receipt and drop it into any entry box at the store. You're now in the running for our grand prize drawing, taking place on May 10th. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Happy Mother's Day from Haagen-Dazs. Promotion ends May 8th.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And that's going to do it for us today, Chester. Yes?
Yes. Quite a pleasure being here.
Thank you again.
Always a pleasure.
I'll see you next week. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.